Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. Good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. We have 3 minutes until market bell rings. But today we have absolutely huge news. Huge news. And that is because the SEC lost a gigantic case against one project called LBRY. And this could have major repercussions for the entire crypto space, including XRP. So let's discuss this. Let's also discuss what's going on with the US markets and what else we could look forward to for the remainder of this week. So welcome guys. We got a couple minutes before opening bell, but you can see today's looking like it's going to be a green day. And that's good. That's good. Bitcoin is above 23,000 once again, 23,087, right? A little bit better than yesterday. Entire market cap is going up. So today is looking like it's going to be a pretty good recovery day. But let's just start out with the big news and let me explain what's going on here. All right. So the SEC just lost a huge case with the project LBRY. Now, in case you're not aware, SEC sued this decentralized library of videos and knowledge and everything because they thought that not only did they host an illegal token offering, but that because of that illegal token offering, that the entire project is a security. So that is why they wanted to shut them down. Now, this was big news because LBRY initially did lose. They lost, and they said that they were going to pretty much close doors and give up. But luckily, they did not. They appealed that decision, and now the judge has clarified, saying, yes, the SEC got them on that token offering, okay? But that does not mean that LBRY itself is a security, and LBRY can still have other sales. For example, the LBRY tokens that's being sold in the secondary market, in this case like DEXs, for example, or centralized exchanges, for example, those are not considered security offerings, nor is LBRY itself a security just because they did have the security sale. Oh, by the way, that's the market bell, right? So this is absolutely huge. This means that LBRY, yes, they pay a fine for that initial token offering, but they can continue on and move forward. They are not declared a security, and they're able to still have their tokens being traded in the free market. That is huge. That is huge because one of the things that Gary was banking on is the fact that they catch someone doing some kind of token offering or had a token offering. They just want to label them completely as security, right? Or Gary does. That's not going to be the case anymore. So this is going to set a huge precedent on everything else that the SEC is going to do from here on out in terms of crypto, right? So of course, people are now saying, well, this means XRP is not a security. There's no way that XRP could be deemed a security just because they had token sales before too. Maybe they'll slap Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and maybe Ripple itself with some fees because they did have an ICO before and sold some tokens. But that does not mean XRP is automatically a security and Ripple can continue with business as usual. That is how the lawyers are interpreting it right now. So this is absolutely huge. Huge. It's the same thing with Ethereum. People are thinking, well, the SEC or Gary is going to declare Ethereum a security just because they had an ICO. No, that means they can't. They can't automatically just say everything is security because they had an ICO, right? So absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So I want to lead off with that. This is good not only for XRP, but also for Ethereum, also for any other coin really that had an ICO. And, of course, good for Bitcoin because we don't want SEC to overstep. We don't want Gary to overstep. Fantastic. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Right? I'm actually surprised that XRP right now is not skyrocketing, to be honest. I thought after this came out, XRP Army would just be buying XRP. I thought XRP would shoot up, but maybe it will. Maybe it will. We will see. But that is definitely the biggest story of the day because of that loss. But moving on, what else is going on? Well, I did say today is opening up in the green, right? So that's good. We also got some good earnings. Unexpected, great earnings, in fact. I don't think anyone predicted this. GM, yes, GM, General Motors, smashed expectations, beat revenue, and beat profits. Top end, bottom end, beat it by a large margin. So this shows that the automotive market is starting to catch up, starting to heat up once again. 2022 was really bad for cars because of supply chain issues. It's still bad. It's still really hard to find cars on lots, even today. But improving, right? And GM is trying to make a big push towards EV. Really, they have no EV cars at this point, but in 2024, they're supposed to have a lot. We will see, like the very first Silverado EV and others. I think the Blazer EV, but, you know, this was unexpected. Also unexpected, McDonald's profit went up in a big way, despite inflation, or maybe it is due to inflation because eggs are so astronomically expensive, it's cheaper to just buy a McMuffin with egg inside. I don't know if that's the reason, but as food prices skyrocketed, McDonald's started skyrocketing too. So that's a surprise. That's a surprise. But UPS did say that, you know, their shipping obviously went down. People just didn't ship as much because they probably spent that money buying a new Corvette or eating at McDonald's more. I don't know how the three equates, but you have some really good earnings and then you have some not so good earnings. Same thing with tech. You have some companies that's doing really well and some companies that's doing not so well, right? So it's not across the board. It's not across the board. Today also, consumer confidence came out, measuring what consumers are doing, thinking, and in December it actually went up. Right? Surprisingly, it fell down drastically, and then it came back up. So that's good overall. But again, then it makes people wonder, well, you know, if so many people are still spending money and consumers are feeling good, what is Powell going to do tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's a big day. I guess we'll see. I don't know if it's tomorrow. Maybe it's Thursday. Maybe it's Thursday's the press conference. Because I thought the press conference started tomorrow and then ends on Thursday. Unless it starts today. And I have to double check that. I thought the press conference was going to be tomorrow. But now that I think about it, because today's the last day of the month, it may be on Thursday instead. Also, Eurozone economy, it grew slightly. The GDP overall grew a little bit. So, I mean, I guess that's good. Right? A lot of people anticipated that the Eurozone, overall Europe, was going to be much weaker because of energy skyrocketing, this whole thing with the war that's still ongoing that can escalate, right? But at least there's a little tiny little sliver of growth. But the good thing is people are recognizing you need to get into something better, okay? And not just be dependent on the euro or any fiat. And that is why there's still a lot of firms, banks, asset managers that are still adopting Bitcoin, offering Bitcoin and crypto to institutional investors and to just retail investors overall. So here's one. Deca Bank, one of the largest asset managers in Germany, okay, is going to offer Bitcoin-related products to its clients. And Germany interesting enough. They buy a whole bunch of gold, a lot of gold. They are big believers of gold. But now, seems like they may be turning to Bitcoin, right? Another huge country, another huge institution, I should say, is turning to Bitcoin, right? So, fantastic stuff. And speaking of Bitcoin, this is what it's looking like right now. Yes, we had some big crashes in the past. We had big exchanges go down. We also had macro crashes. As you can see, we had Bitfinex crash. Even before Bitfinex crash, we had a Mt. Gox crash. We also had a COVID crash. We could label this last crash as an FTX crash, but it's really Luna, Voyager, Celsius, FTX crash, right? But every single time we bounce back, and when we bounce back, good things happen. Maybe we're not going to see 121x gain, but a 15x gain, a 10x gain from here. I mean, who knows? Who knows? But we are definitely moving in the right direction. And there are a lot of people that are charting, of course, where we are going to go. And many people think by May, and remember, tomorrow's February already. By May, we could see that $42,000 range once again. $42,000. Imagine if we did that. We would wipe out all the downs that we had since Luna collapsed, since Celsius collapsed, since FTX collapsed. We would wipe all that out in mere months, right? How fantastic would that be as we prepare to head higher? I would say that's pretty fantastic. Pretty fantastic. Some bad news about Celsius. Supposedly 800 million in losses, possibly illegal losses, not reported. Now it's coming out, right? And it turns out that Celsius used new customer funds to pay for withdrawals. When that would make it exactly like a Ponzi, right? So now there's more coming out. Alex Mashinsky, he better watch out. He better watch out, because now it's seeming like they are not just, I don't know, they're not just idiots, but they're criminals, maybe. And then lastly, ADA's very first, or Cardano's very first stablecoin, DJED, has launched today. A lot of excitement over this, right? They promised that it was going to launch the last week of January, and it's here. So most of the dexes, like MinSwap, has adopted DJED, and there's others that will too. So overall, very good for Cardano, and we'll see how this boosts their DeFi ecosystem, right? All right, guys. Whew, said a lot, but this obviously I think is the biggest news of the day. This is going to make it very, 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 very hard for the SEC and Gary to be attacking other crypto projects and just deeming them as securities just because they want to. No, it's going to make it very, very hard to do so in the future. All right, let's do some Q&A. Gina just bought some extra XRP. I think a lot of people are going to be buying XRP because of this. All right, let me scroll down here. Good morning, everyone. McDonald's is about to adopt Doge because of Elon. Yep, that is why Doge has shot up recently. Because Elon said that he will eat McDonald's on air if McDonald's accepts Doge, which they're probably working on right now. Like, why would they not, right? So that's why Doge is going up. Richard says, George, I'm feeling like this is getting bullish. I would say so. It's been bullish for this entire month. Bitcoin is looking like it wants to close the month at plus 40%, one of the biggest gains ever in Bitcoin's history. And why not? We have one of the longest down trends, actually the longest downtrend. The most prolonged crypto correction that we have ever seen. So why not have a tremendous, recovery, right? That's usually what happens. Any chance that Luna Classic will reach or exceed its all-time high 116 at next zero, and it will never reach there? Illegals, you need to do some math on the circulating supply, which has increased by 6 trillion. So there's zero chance in Luna's history that it will go back to its previous high. Scotty, I'm gonna crack myself more just for you, my man. What are your thoughts on Dara? I have zero thoughts on Dara. I've always been neutral on them. That's pretty much it. When do you think Twitter will accept BTC, Doge? You know what? I just reported this last night. There's more talks about Twitter getting transactions going. And at first, they're just going to concentrate on fiat. But afterwards, crypto is going to be integrated. So it's probably Doge and Bitcoin and Ethereum. All three. But it could just be Doge. Who knows? But it's coming. You just got to be patient. Why do you think ETH is not a security? Million of ETH is tied up in staking, and the team has been flippant about when it will be released. No, they're not flippant about it. It's being released in the Shanghai upgrade, which is coming in March. And just because it has a lot of tokens locked, why does that automatically make it a security? I think people just make up stuff because they want to deem everything a security and not Bitcoin, right? It was voluntarily made open that you could stake or not stake. It's not forcing everyone to stake. People voluntarily chose to stake. And they are working on it. They're still improving upon it, right? So why do you think it's a security just due to that? It's just because you have all these Bitcoin maxis just trying to make up stuff who are not lawyers, and then they just trying to pinpoint everything being a security. I mean, honestly, that's it. You have a lot of non-lawyers making things up, trying to make it seem like everything is security, Bitcoin isn't. In fact, it just makes them look more desperate. Why do you need to shame everything else to make Bitcoin look better? You don't need that. Bitcoin already has proven itself. Bitcoin doesn't need these Bitcoin maxis trying to spread FUD. I mean, it's ridiculous to think about. If you had to pick a new coin to add to your portfolio, either Solana or Lido, Solana. Solana still has a big backing. Big backing, big backers, people that still really do believe in it. So, yeah. We're in a super cycle. I don't know about that. It could. As cycles diminish as we move forward because everything is bigger and there's more adoption, we could definitely just move into super cycles. That can definitely be the case. Swift not processing transactions on exchanges less than 100,000. What does this mean? Are we not going to be able to buy or sell? Steven, I mean, again, use logic, okay? Swift is for banks. Banks, of course, does not want people to buy crypto. But does that mean that you can't do ACH or use credit card or use debit card? No, it does not mean those things. So use logic there, buddy. Or just purchase 100,000 plus crypto every time you want to buy. Set aside your money and make 100K plus transactions. Scotty, appreciate it. I had crypto as a payment option on my site for 6 months with 10% discount, still no one using it. I'm B2B. We more trust in business. I don't know what that means, the last part. But as for the first part, yeah. Depending on how big your site is. First of all, I don't know if you're like an Amazon size or you're a mom and pop size. If you're a mom and pop size, of course, no one's going to be using crypto on your web page, right? But with that said, in general, most people are not spending crypto because crypto, most people are holding it as investment. They want to see it appreciate and attain life-changing wealth through it, so they're not going to be spending it right now, right? But at some point, we'll get to levels where people will start spending it daily. So then maybe you'll see some traffic. Have you looked into Cody's treasury? Over 50% of supply locked into staking. Great, but not the highest. ADA itself has 75% locked in. So just a lot of excitement about Cody right now because of DJED. So we'll see what it does, right? We'll see how it boosts Cardano's ecosystem, and it only helps Cody if the bigger it grows and gets adopted. And Bitcoin is coming back up to 23.2. Looking good. Today's a good day. Today is a good day. Even the U.S. market is, well, not great, but it's at least in the green. Is it possible 20% of the revenues at Twitter could be a Doge? I don't know. I think that they're still going to concentrate on fiat first. Elon wants to make sure that Twitter is profitable again. Then they're going to open up crypto, right? If they could do something like, I don't know, if they somehow have their own crypto exchange or something on there, I doubt it. But they'll try to figure it out. Yeah, if you're in the U.S. and you're signing up with any exchange in the U.S., unfortunately you have to do KYC. Yeah, because they have to abide by AML standards, like what Ninja Glock is saying. The Feezy says, pay your crypto taxes. Don't try to beat the system. I agree with that, and here's why. And people would always argue, well, I have all my stuff on foreign exchanges, or I have it in my cold wallets. You know, the IRS is not going to know about it, which is true, But someday, if you ever cash out, because now you're a multimillionaire or a billionaire and you want to buy a yacht, you want to buy a mansion, you want to buy whatever, right? Someday you may want to cash out. And when you do cash out, the IRS is going to be flagged and say, well, this guy just cashed out a few million. Where did he get that money from, right? So you don't want to be caught in that situation. Now, you could argue that maybe one day you just pay for things in Bitcoin, which is fine, right? But again, by that point, maybe they're going to be tracking all that anyways. They're going to be tracking Bitcoin payments and Ethereum payments and Doge payments too, right? So I think it's just better to just pay your taxes rather than try to hide it, because eventually you're going to have to spend it, and you don't want to be caught later on when you're much wealthier, when you're a much bigger fish, and that's when the IRS will really come after you. Let's see. Vince says, decided to buy that BTC last night. Coughed up a bit more to ensure it became a whole coin. Holding it forever. Congratulations, Vince. You are a whole coiner. Very hard to do. Very hard to do. In case people are tuning in late, this is definitely the big news of the day. SEC settles on the fact that they can't just deem everything a security. The judge in this case, where the SEC versus LBRY, the judge in this case ruled that secondary sales are not considered security offerings, meaning that LBRY on DEXs and centralized exchanges are not token offerings and not illegal token offerings. And just because they did have a legal token offering, the project itself is not a security. Just because of that, right? So that's a big blow. It's a big blow to SEC, and this is going to make it very, very, very hard, if not next to impossible, for the SEC to prove that XRP is a security. They may say Ripple and Brad and Chris had illegal token offerings and slap them with a huge fine, but they cannot deem XRP a security just because of that. It's a huge blow. Huge, absolutely huge blow to the SEC. This is great for Ripple. This is great for Ethereum. It's great for everything else out there. Where can you buy Ripple? If you live in New York, the only place I see is Australia. No, you could buy on many exchanges. If you're in the U.S., Uphold, if it's available to U.S. New York residents, I'm not sure. But MEXC, for example, KuCoin, I mean, any foreign exchange allows you to buy it. SC Lighting Design Chicago, not paying on a year of losses. You're not paying anything. In fact, if you have year of losses, you should be declaring it, because then you could deduct from, if you have no capital gains, at least you could deduct $3,000 if you're in the U.S. And if you do have other capital gains, you could deduct from that. But even then, if you have way more losses than, say, $3,000, well, then you could carry every year. So then this year, let's say you're good, you make a lot of capital gains, then you could deduct off from the capital losses of 2022. So it helps you regardless. If you have losses, you should still file it as a deduction. My bank already has a crypto deposit tab? Really? So they're a custody service, or they're providing a custody service. That's interesting. Did you hear Usain Bolt lost his life savings? I did hear something about that. Isn't it about like his account manager ripped him off or something? You hear about this all the time, like athletes and their managers, business managers, just like because they gave them power of attorney, so they just use up all their client funds and do whatever, and then eventually they get caught and go to jail, but still they already wasted all the money. It's insane. I would never trust a business manager to just take over my accounts and do whatever they want with my money. I couldn't do that. Couldn't do that. Seattle Era's Craigslist also has a crypto payment option. I did hear about Craigslist offering that, but I don't think anyone uses Craigslist anymore. Everyone has moved to like Facebook Marketplace. Right? I don't know. You guys tell me. Do any of you guys still use Craigslist? Because Craigslist started charging for things, and that's why people all moved to Facebook Marketplace. Can I do SBF Adventures meets Ben Simmons? I would find that funny, but no one else would. Dude Viper on Rumble says, NFT losses are so hard to track. I trade 100, don't even know where to start checking cost basis. Here's the thing, dude Viper. If you use like CoinTracker, for example, you could just enter your wallet address, and then it'll take into account all the transactions. So I do believe it can detect NFTs. They are an official partner of OpenSea, so I do believe they can find all your NFTs and try to do a cost analysis on them. Just FYI, because I know they are working with NFTs as well. Really, people still use Craigslist? Craigslist is good for renting apartments, I guess. I don't know. Craigslist used to have no competition, and now that Facebook Marketplace is out, seems like they do have competition. They should upgrade themselves, but they still don't. Best page to live news, Leon? I don't know what you mean by that. I would say this channel provides the best live news, or news in general, or crypto education. Yes, it does, Jason. CoinTracker works with anything that has a wallet and anything that has a wallet address. So, and it's not just CoinTracker. CoinTracking, Coinly, they all do. How do you feel about Telcoin? I kind of gave up on them, to be honest. I learned about it in 2017. Back then, they were just concentrating on remittance and trying to build things out between Africa and Europe. They have done that in 2021. They bought some bank in the U.S. trying to do remittance in the U.S. I don't know what happened there. They just kind of trailed off, died off. At least the news did. So I don't know if they have made more progress, but they're about remittance, and that's about it. But I have not been keeping up with them, really. I thought Craigslist was only used to get hookers these days. Maybe. Maybe all these people that say they are using Craigslist is for that reason. Who knows? I spoke to Gary. He said XRP is not a security. I'm glad you confirmed that for the rest of us. Facebook Marketplace has just as many scams as anything else. You get what you pay for. Yeah, I'm sure there's always scams, right? But at least most things on Facebook Marketplace is free. No, everything is free. Craigslist still charges a lot for everything. I remember cars. The time in my period, I was flipping cars. And it was great to be able to sell cars on Craigslist for free. Now you have to pay for any ad. Not ad, just posting. And it kind of sucks. Is Coinbase going to relist XRP? Well, once Ripple wins the case, then yes, Coinbase will relist, and so will all other exchanges. So this is big news. Big news for XRP, but big news overall for an entire crypto ecosystem. It's huge. Absolutely huge. Ferrari reveal if Bitcoin hits 40K by May. Sure, I'll do it then. These will be nice out. I'll have the car out then. Sure, I could do that. More SBF Ventures. I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm still debating. So many people saying they want it, but so many people don't want it either. Imagine people using ChatGPT during the next bull run to make their sales pitch. I'm sure a lot of people are doing that already. Dude, Viper, that's why you enter all your addresses. If you enter all of your addresses and wallets, it'll be able to tell where you're transferring from one to another, and it'll give you an accurate cost analysis. But if you only enter one wallet, it's not going to know where it came from or where it went, right? But if you enter all of them, then it will calculate everything for you. So that's how it works. Dual poll.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.
Oops. That was a little premature there. That was a preview of the most educational XRP video ever created. I have crypto on Robinhood. They don't allow self-custody. Do you know any way around that? No. Well, they are trying to, well, they have their wallet that they're working on. It's in beta. That is self-custody. So eventually they're going to allow everyone to transfer to that. But yeah, outside of that, you can't withdraw out. Premature genization. Oh, you guys are a blast when things are doing good. All right. According to the poll, we got 72% that's voting yes. I'm still not sure if I'm convinced by that. Anyways, I think let's call it a day. Overall, U.S. market, it's starting to turn red. That's not good. But we got some surprise earnings today. We got a surprise ruling today. Absolutely huge. Bitcoin is coming back up above 23,000. That's good. So today could be a good recovery day. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. And then, of course, We're waiting to see what Powell says. I have to confirm. I think it may be. I think all these sites are saying tomorrow, but it could be Thursday because I remember it's the 2nd. But let me double check again real quick. See over here, it says the press conference is tomorrow, but I remember it was the 2nd. I have to double check that. Regardless, we'll see. We'll see. Today could be a good day. All right, guys. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. And because we have this monumental judgment and XRP may be winning the case soon, in case you want to learn more, I'm the only person that has this, the most educational video ever created to help you learn more about XRP and Ripple and Chris Larsen. All right, so take a look.
What do you think about Ripple? Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larsen.